We are back. The United States has been concerned about human trafficking for a long time and on record about it. Although the State Department could give Malaysia a pass to secure their position in the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Vice News reports human trafficking and forced labor conditions are reportedly rampant in Malaysia. A member of the Malaysian parliament told Vice News human trafficking and forced labor are as bad as ever here. We have women who are raped endlessly, workers who are malnourished, and there's no political will to take it seriously. And we're going to do a deal with these people? Here's the condition. In May, 139 graves in cages were discovered in the Malaysian jungle. Authorities believe the abandoned jungle camps and mass graves were left behind by human traffickers. Things are so bad, the State Department rated Malaysia a Tier 3 country in their trafficking in persons report. Countries with a Tier 3 rating cannot be accepted into the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Reuters reports the U.S. State Department is preparing to give Malaysia a Tier 2 rating. It would reduce Malaysia to a watch list and give them a path to join the TPP. The report is expected to be released later this week. People are outraged. Protests were held at the U.S. Capitol and the Malaysian embassy today. Senator Robert Menendez added the amendment to the fast-track legislation that would prohibit Tier 3 countries from joining the Trans-Pacific Partnership. He told Vice News upgrading Malaysia, quote, would represent a blatant manipulation of the administration's own ranking system, undermining the credibility of our international efforts to fight human trafficking. It would be a stain on our country's record of upholding human rights around the world. For more, let me bring in Texas Congressman Lloyd Doggett. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, Ed. It is a really horrifying situation.
Why is the State Department even considering this?
Well, I've raised this directly with the State Department earlier and with Ambassador Froman. They've assured me earlier that they would not do this, but the report that we're hearing, perhaps from a whistleblower about this, is very troubling. The real question is, can we develop a 21st century international trade policy that incorporates our American values, including respect for individuals and certainly stopping sex trafficking, trafficking in children, and forced labor? The Malaysia situation has just gotten worse, and for them to reward Malaysia at this time would be a real step backward.
So Malaysia has made no progress, in your opinion, in the stopping of human trafficking?
No, and it is more than my opinion or Senator Menendez. I raised this concern in the Ways and Means Committee during the markup, but our ambassador to Malaysia in April noted they had not made progress to get out of Tier 3, and this report only covered to the prior month that the State Department is considering. Recently, the president of the Bar Association, the attorneys in Malaysia, noted there was no basis for removing Malaysia from that list, that awful list of North Korea, Syria, and Zimbabwe, a few countries in the world that don't value people, that treat them as slaves.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to prevent.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but would you think that it seems or appears like the United States would sell its moral soul to get this trade deal done?
Well, Ed, that's what's so troubling to those of us who've sought a better TPP and a better fast track. The fast trackers seem to only be concerned about how many goods and services move across borders and not concerned with those values, the issues of worker rights in Vietnam, of trafficking in Malaysia, of destroying the hardwood forest in Peru. The USTR just does not seem to place a priority on those matters. They're either indifferent or they just don't prioritize this.
Do you expect a response from the White House and the president?
Well,
I mean, do you expect a response from President Obama? Is it that critical?
I think it is that critical. I think he needs to speak out on this issue personally. We're hearing that the report which has been delayed. This trafficking in persons report normally comes out at the beginning of June. It's been delayed longer than any time in history. It appears to be coinciding with this trade conference out in Maui, that it may be released next week. And I certainly hope that we don't reward Malaysia, but I don't want to see this report, which has been the gold standard around the world in dealing with trafficking, to see it devalued and rejected by simply manipulating it for one country that is not a good actor on these issues.
And quickly, Congressman, do you expect other countries to raise the same concerns you are and this country is?
One would certainly hope so. If you read reports like the one you referenced, if you look at the groups around the world that really are trying to do something about trafficking, they want the world to speak out on this. But President Obama and the United States need to lead the way.
Congressman Lloyd Doggett of Texas, great to have you with us tonight, sir. Thanks so much. That's the Ed Show. I'm Ed Schultz, Politics Station with Reverend Al.